What is good, Ambush? And welcome to this week's episode of the Desert Tiger Podcast. Here with me, your host of the DTP. I am Colton G, and this week on the show, I am joined by one of Australia's hottest country music duos, and that is the Wolfe Brothers, Nick and Tom. We're going to be talking all about their new single, No Breaks. We're even going to be giving you a little bit of a biography on them before we jump into that convo and play that song for you. But of course, there's some business we need to take care of first. So first off, if you guys recently checked out ilovedtp.com, because not only do we have those new hats, those new beanies for you guys to check out, we're also starting to get super low on the shirts that we have. If you're looking for a small, an XL, or a medium, you are pretty much out of luck. I think we are out of our triple XL. I think we have one double XL left. If you're looking for a large, we got you, brother. We got you. But other than that, I actually think we're going to be retiring this design for shirts right now, at least on the black with the white logo. So if this is something that you want, this is going to be the last run, except for a small run of lady shirts that is going to be coming in very soon. Would also like to mention that today's show is brought to you by Fight TV, the premier streaming service for combat sports like MMA, pro wrestling, and boxing. You can find a Fight TV on your web browser and in your app store, FITE.tv. We're also brought to you today by Fiverr.com, spelt Fiverr. It is the #1 services marketplace where you can find the freelancer to help bring your game, your presentation to the next level. That is Fiverr.com. All right, let's get rocking with the Wolfe Brothers. Any history of the Wolfe Brothers that doesn't begin 4 generations ago? It isn't quite complete. The revered country duo comprised of brothers Nick and Tom Wolfe have become renowned over the past few years for their jaw-dropping live shows and slow but steady ascent to Australian country music's upper echelon. Part of their rise has been due to talent, and a lot of it is due to hard work. But the truth is that music is in the Wolfe Brothers' blood. Their father, the man who encouraged them to start playing and helped facilitate their first shows in their early teens, was a rock drummer. His father played saxophone, touring around the brothers' home state of Tasmania with a family band. And his father, Nick and Tom's great-grandfather, was a fiddle player. So to say that the Wolfe Brothers' story begins anywhere except 4 generations ago would be disingenuous. It would be ignoring the tides of history. If the musical gene was already in Nick and Tom's DNA, it was their parents who brought it to full bloom. Their father guided Nick to the guitar and Tom to the piano, and their mother filled their family home with music, exposing their children to 90s country staples like Garth Brooks and Billy Ray Cyrus. It was almost an inevitability that the Wolfe family home would produce 2 of Australia's finest country musicians. And the Wolfe Brothers are continuing to produce some of the finest country tracks, adding their latest single, No Breaks, to their catalog and kicking off the decade with their sights on continuing to make their mark on other shores while continuing to make their mark at home with the start of Wolfe Fest in January of 2020. Nick and Tom Wolfe joined the DTP to discuss making their debut in Canada at the 2019 Calgary Stampede, staying connected with their dedicated fan base during these hard times, and their new song, No Breaks, among many other topics, including the No Breaks TikTok dance challenge, which you definitely should be checking out because it's got some pretty slick moves to it, and you're going to be wanting to move to it. So why don't we go ahead and play that song for you right now while we head into this conversation with the Wolfe Brothers. With
The Tiger Podcast.
How's it going?
Good, mate.
Going great, yeah.
All right, glad to hear that.
Yeah. Thanks for having us on this, mate. This is great.
Oh, no worries at all. My absolute pleasure to have you gentlemen on. I mean, you guys just made your debut in Canada last year, so why don't we continue to build that steam?
That would be amazing.
Yeah, very, very cool, mate. Very cool. How is it where you are, mate? All sort of safe at the moment?
We're fairly safe here. BC, where I'm located, has been fairly proactive with everything, and the cases have been fairly low. How are things where you guys are located in Australia?
Yeah, not too bad. We're down in Tasmania, which is the island off the bottom of Australia, and it's been okay. I think there's only a few active cases at the moment. There's a little bit of a breakout in the north of our state, but I think it's just
a pretty good place to be. It's a pretty good place to be because it's an island, so they're able to sort of put the drawbridge up, I suppose, and keep everybody out. And but yeah, there's still managed to be a bit of a hot spot up in the north, and it kind of got in this hospital and killed a few people and stuff. So relatively to population, I don't think it's actually that good of a statistic, but I probably wouldn't want to be anywhere else right now. I think it's a pretty good place to be.
Yes, it sounds like it's a fairly secluded location for sure.
It is.
Oh, that's very, very good to be thankful for. You guys are off at the farm, I presume?
Yeah. I'm down at the farm, and it's good. I'm so glad I've had this space to be locked down on. Otherwise, we've got friends and stuff who live in Sydney, who live in apartments, and I don't know how they do it. You got to stay home every day, and I couldn't do it. So I've been very, very thankful for that. Very thankful.
I've been up in, I live at the other end of the state, up in Launceston, and it's actually been, despite not being able to go and play shows and earn money and things like that, it's, I've actually really loved the time at home. It's been amazing. We haven't been home for this long for years. So I don't think my wife and I have ever spent so many consecutive days together before, actually. So it's actually been really good.
So really taking the time to appreciate the things that you don't normally get to do.
Absolutely. I mean, that's kind of all we can do, I think, so that's been good. Like, I thought it might have, tested the relationships a bit, but we've managed to, on one day we even had a game of Monopoly, which, that thing just breaks up families.
Oh, that tests relationships for sure.
So we did that, and we also assembled like a piece of flat pack furniture, which is another good relationship tester. So we survived both of those things easily. So I reckon we're pretty right.
Yeah. My wife said to me just the other day, she said, "I think it's time you got to go back on the road." That's okay. No, it's been good. That's been the only good thing about it. The time at home with the family.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that you have positives that you can enjoy during these times.
Yeah, you got to. I think otherwise you'd go insane.
Exactly. It's always good to find the silver lining in even the dirtiest of clouds.
Yeah. Well, we're trying our best. Let me tell you.
All right, well, we're going to get a little bit more into that as well further on here. Of course, we're talking with the Wolfe Brothers, Nick and Tom. They've built quite a reputation as one of the most successful Australian country music duos in the last decade, having 12 consecutive number one singles, and even starting off this decade incredibly strong with their own festival with Wolfe Fest that was at the beginning of this year, January 4th and 5th. They just announced signing an international deal with Australia BMG, and they just released their latest single on said label, and that is No Break. So you guys are still finding a time to stay positive during all of these things musically as well.
Yeah, look, we ummed and ahed and discussed whether we should release a single or not while all this is happening, and the decision came that I think we should. I think the news is full of COVID. The news feed on social media is all about COVID-19. We thought, let's get something out there that other people can focus on. It's something else that's positive. It's something else to talk about, and yeah, the support we've got's been actually really positive. We were a little bit scared at first, but it's been really getting embraced by the fans, and that's really awesome.
Well, Tom was a little bit scared. I always thought the song was great. Tom was a bit scared that we were delving into maybe a bit too pop territory than what we'd done, but. Then again, you look at some of our previous songs, we'd sort of gone that way with things like No Sad Song and a few other things. So I didn't really ever see it was that much of a departure from what we've done. I think leading up, like last album, a lot of the topics of the songs were pretty serious and heavy. Like I guess making that album, we went through a lot. Like our father passed away from cancer, and there's a lot going on. And there's songs about that on that album, and also things like, veterans and things like that with Hey Brother. So, look, I think we just felt it was time. You can't just do serious songs all the time. I think we just needed to put out a bit of a banger and have a bit of fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's also a very good song to maybe release, like you said, after a string of very important but very serious songs, but also during a time where maybe some people need something to help break up the monotony of their own day.
Absolutely, and our job is to entertain people as well, and it's I think a lot of the stuff we've been writing of late has really been geared towards how with the thought in mind, how will this work in the live show? So really writing off based on grooves and feels that we know are gonna, you could play anywhere at any time, and it's gonna do the thing, So I guess we've sort of really had that in our head with our writing lately, trying to just craft a set of songs that's going to work no matter where we are in the world, because with this new deal we might find ourselves in places where people really don't know us. We've got a great following in Australia, but we're looking to expand internationally, and there's no doubt we're going to go places and no one will know who we are. So we want music that's going to work no matter where we are, I guess. That's kind of the thought at the moment.
For sure, and like you guys said, just starting to break out. You guys only just broke into Canada, and as a Canadian, most of the country music fans, or even people who are outside of the country music genre in North America, don't necessarily know that the genre exists and thrives inside of other parts of the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we've been over before, obviously played in Canada, but I remember the first time we went over to play in the States, we did a tour through the Midwest. And like we were telling people, hey, we're the Wolfe Brothers, we're from Tasmania, and a lot of people didn't know where Tasmania was. So we'd sort of explain, the Tasmanian devil off the cartoon,
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's where we're from. Amazing. Like, yeah, again, and they were like, people come up to us and go, how come you guys are singing country music, and you're from like Tasmania, Australia? How do you know about it? We thought it would just existed here. And I mean, for us, we grew up on a farm. It's, we've listened to probably a lot of the same records country fans all around the world have, plus we've been very lucky in Australia. There's some incredible homegrown artists, so it's just country music's just in us, so yeah, it's been fun. And you're right, a lot of people wouldn't know. I mean, when we came up to Canada to play at the Stampede last year, like that was so much fun, and the size of that thing just absolutely blew our minds, and Canadian fans, they love their country music. I cannot wait to get back there sooner rather than later, please.
Oh, especially at a place like the Stampede, where you have so many die-hard individuals who are just willing to embrace just, even that new sound and jump into your guys' music and just immediately start dancing?
One I love when we were there is just the subtle differences in the kind of, I guess, the country music landscape, even from Canada to the US. Like, I guess we were pretty well versed in what the radio landscape is like in the States, but I had no idea of how unique and cool it was up in Canada until we were there. And it's the same again in Australia. We've got our own whole scene of artists like that, other parts of the world would never have heard of. But it's really just unique how just, I guess, the place kind of shapes what's happening, and it's really cool. I can't wait to get over there and kind of explore it more, and it's gonna be great.
All right. You guys just did your own festival as well, and doing that in the middle of a tour. So not only how difficult is it to plan a summer festival, but also continue to make sure that you're hyping it properly and getting everything lined up the right way while you guys are on the road playing your own shows, taking care of your own careers?
Well, look, we've been very lucky. We've got an incredible management team around us who really go above and beyond to help support us. We started talking about it, the idea of Wolfe Fest for ages. Like I've always wanted to have a Wolfe Fest because, Motley Crue had Crew Fest and Ozzy Osbourne had Oz Fest. So I was like, well, we need a Wolfe Fest, And it was really great, it was year one. So we started, well, we didn't start small, but, we did 2 outside festivals across our state. It was really great. We didn't necessarily keep it to strictly a country festival, which is something we're a bit excited about. We had some great country acts, but we also had a great act from our state called the Bad Dad Orchestra, who are like a soul rock band, and it was really exciting because it really, really worked and it really got embraced. So hopefully coming into our summer in January, COVID will all be over and we'll be able to do a few more Wolfe Fest because it's the type of thing we've set up. We want to be able to take it on the road, take different people out every year, and it's fun. Look, we've always been the type of guys to probably bite off more than we can chew. So that was definitely, let's do a festival. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's fun. Really cool. Really, really cool.
Okay, and then Nick, from your perspective, how was doing all of that?
Oh, mate, it was pretty cool. Like, it's something we definitely want to build up over the coming years. I think the original thought was we could do it kind of at our farm. That's kind of where we want to end up with it. Like, Wolfe Fest from Wolfe's farm. We couldn't logistically sort of make that work in year one, but maybe going forward, we want to make it, bigger and bigger artists and as Tom said, different genres and. So who knows, maybe, the goal is one day, a really, really big time thing down at the farm. Really cool. But, it was great. I sort of was always, I wasn't as enthusiastic about the idea as Tom. I was just like, oh, really? We're going to name a festival after ourselves? Oh, sure about this? But no, it was cool. So.
Yeah. I was right.
Well, it's sometimes that's for the best, right? Especially when it comes to progressing things.
Look, actually, You know what? The great thing about is about working together, being brothers. We're very honest, sometimes brutally honest with each other, but that's good. I think it makes for a very good team. It's always made for a great creative team, and later as you get older in this business, it becomes more business decisions, like, doing a festival and stuff crop up. And it's been good. We've been able to sort of work all that, navigate that stuff together pretty damn well. Yeah, I'm definitely the one that has these grand ideas, and Nick's kind of like, yeah, let's just pull that in a little bit.
Well, it's good to dream big too, and I mean, you guys are definitely taking a lot of big steps between the festival and going international as well. All right, now that we've talked a little bit about Wolfe Fest, now that we've talked a little bit about, the current situation of the world and how it's affected some things, I want to get more into, some of the influences of the Wolfe Brothers. And of course, we need to talk about No Breaks, that amazing jam of a song that you guys heard earlier here on the DTP. But of course, we need to take a little bit of a break here, pay a few bills. Of course, you guys know one of the best ways to support the show is over at ilovedtp.com. But of course, we've also teamed up with some other amazing services to, help you guys out as well, keep you entertained while everything is going down. And of course, I need to shout out our good friends at Fight TV. Why is that? Because Fight TV is the premier streaming service for combat sports like mixed martial arts, pro wrestling, and boxing. Not just that, they're adding more sports all the time. They've recently added some soccer to it as well. Yeah, Fight TV is expanding their game. They're attacking the sports world, the streaming culture. And you can not only find some of the hottest pay-per-views there, they also have some free content as well. They recently launched the Fight TV 24/7 channel where you can watch all of those amazing hard-hitting combat sports action for free. Yeah, for free, and it's all on Fight TV. That's right, FITE.tv. You can find it on your web browser and even in your app store. We're also brought to you today by Fiverr. Yeah, that's right. Are you a content creator, maybe a streamer, a YouTuber, a musician, someone who's maybe just getting started and maybe doesn't have necessarily the connections to get some of the things that you need to help bring your game to the next level, maybe look a little more professional? Well, Fiverr has the collection of professional creators to help you get there, no matter what it is you are looking for in order to help you do this, whether it is logo creation, you need some badges, you need some banners created, you need a little bit of intro music created. Fiverr has all sorts of different options. There's literally hundreds of different categories that you can find assistance in on Fiverr right now. Yeah, that's right, right now they're waiting for you so that you can go and get your project created the way that you want today. All right, you guys, let's jump back into this conversation with Nick and Tom, the Wolfe Brothers.
The Desert Tiger Podcast.
So, one thing I want to touch on is you guys saying that you want to bring different sounds to the festival, and another thing that you guys also said is like you were afraid to venture into the pop world even though you had already done it, but you can definitely hear a lot of like those pop and rock influences throughout your music in time as well. So how much of those genres were influences to you guys growing up?
Well, look, we've always just listened to like so much different music. And I feel like, when it came time to write our own music, I've never doubted that it was country, but there's always been, a lot of different stuff because that's just what we're brought up on, like what my favorite band of all time is the band Warrant, like Cherry Pie Warrant.
Nice.
So like, people will be like, what the hell is this guy doing, singing country? But I love that band, and we've growing up, we've had to do a lot of different gigs, like as our job, we did weddings, we did, the weirdest one I think was this, like we did like a 70th birthday party to about 10 people in like an old farm, mansion around this round table while people sat and, played sherry, and they wanted us to play things like Danny Boy and stuff, So we've been in some weird situations, and we've had to play a lot of different stuff in our lives. The music we make, I think, is country, and I think it's the country music now is in a place where it's a massive cross pollination of genres, and there's a lot of cool stuff. I think there's some really cool stuff being sort of made out of that. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah. Look, I totally agree. For us, if you sort of listen if you sort of listen from our early career to now, our early stuff, is
embarrassing.
Some of it is embarrassing, yeah. But you can hear we were kids really, and there's a lot of country in there, but there's also a lot of, you can hear sort of like some of them early rock influences like that Warrant stuff coming through, and as we've got older, what I've really liked is as we've got older, we've always tried to push ourselves into what we haven't done, Like No Breaks is probably the most pop influence thing we've done. And I won't lie, I was a little bit scared about that. But hindsight is a great thing. And I mean, now that it's out and seeing the way it's getting embraced, I'm really happy with that, and it sort of puts me in the headspace of writing and being creative, of going, okay, well, what haven't we done? What haven't we sung about? What haven't we, what sort of groove haven't we recorded before? What sort of sounds haven't we used? So that's kind of really exciting, because I think, there's some artists that just do the one thing, and then that's, mind you, that can be really cool. I mean, that works for AC/DC. But, I think for us, I just want to keep pushing it and keep pushing ourselves creatively too, and just keep trying to find the things we haven't done, and within that, hopefully, we'll find some real gems,
Well, Tom, speaking of things we haven't done, I've been meaning to ask you, No Breaks, the No Breaks challenge on TikTok. I believe,
Yes.
I believe you're gonna have to do a video for that pretty soon. I just wondered how the dance steps were coming along.
Yeah, really, really good, mate. Yeah. Look, TikTok is a world I haven't quite ventured.
Do you even have the app? Do you have the app yet?
I got the app last week, but I haven't set up an account. I've had a little look. I've had a little look on it, but yeah,
it gets you.
I don't know if I'm going to be doing the No Breaks dance challenge anytime soon. Let me tell you, I don't think it's going to happen.
Mate, you got to back your product, and
I back it. Don't worry about that.
I really think what the world needs to see is you doing that dance. So I'm looking forward to that.
I think that would bring a smile to everyone's faces, and it would immediately go viral.
I think so.
I don't know if that's what I want. If that's what goes viral for the Wolfe Brothers, I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, I mean, I looked at the No Breaks TikTok dance challenge this morning, and I must say the dance moves are a little intricate. It would take quite a few people a little bit of time to figure that one out. So I don't blame you for being a little scared of it.
It's not the easiest. It's not the easiest one, is it? It's
No.
It's sort of a it's an advanced. It's not. I wouldn't say it's advanced, but it's there are a lot easier ones. But I think the secret is to start like not at the very start. I mean, not that I've put much time into it myself. But if I was going to learn it, I would skip the first couple of steps and just go from where the chorus starts. Yeah, not that I've messed with it much, but
sure, Nick, sure,
yeah.
mate, sure.
I definitely haven't been, in my lounge room on my own for 2 hours, trying to learn everything.
Well, you can at least expect one of the Wolfe Brothers to possibly put in their own entrant into the challenge then, from the sounds of things.
I think one of us is going to have to, because, we can't just put this out there and not back it up. So.
Well, exactly.
I guess it's going to be me by the sounds of it, but I think it would be more viral, as you say, with Tom doing it. He's just got, just that physique that would just really top it off. I think it would suit it.
Yeah, sure.
He just seems like he's someone who's got like a really jolly energy to when he dances,
It's gonna be amazing.
Oh God, I'm actually becoming more scared as this interview progresses. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
No, it's funny. I mean, I never thought. Who would have ever thought that whole concept would be a thing? It's, because like Dances for Songs was something that was around, back in the olden days, like, oh, we're going out and doing the Charleston or something, but that's the modern version, isn't it? These songs come out and that's how the songs blow up. The dance goes along with them and goes on there. It's mind-blowing. Even a few years ago, if you had said that would be a thing, I just would have been like, no way. But anyway, that's how the world works, I suppose.
Oh, well, soon enough you'll see people busting it out at clubs and it'll be the next boot, scoot, and boogie.
All right, let's hope so. I saw a fantastic video of Billy Ray Cyrus in the Achy Breaky Heart days doing some amazing moves the other day, and I just thought, and that was a glorious time. I think we could do that. So
bring it back yeah, for sure.
Maybe. So there we go.
Awesome. So you guys recently signed with Australia BMG. What has that experience been like, and what have you noticed in their ability with taking you guys international?
Look, it's been a really, really great experience. Like all these things, it's sort of been the process of months and months and months getting there to actually get to put the signature on the paper, and then months and months and months of recording and writing and to get a song out. But the team are really great. They've got a different way of looking at things probably compared to how we have done things in the past. But what's been really exciting for us is just how connected BMG Australia are with the teams, around the world. If there's a meeting in the morning with Australia, then all of a sudden, then we're talking to Canada, then we're talking to America, and everyone's on the same page. And everyone's just got the belief they've got in our songs and what we're doing is, it's humbling, really. It really is. And I think it's the start of a really exciting new chapter for us. I really do. So I'm excited to sort of, I'm really excited to get back out on the road and start touring some of these new songs. But yeah, look, it's a great team, and I think this is the start of a really exciting chapter.
I mean, we're still pinching ourselves a lot. I looked at the deal's an international deal, so we're signed to BMG Australia, and then that branches out to Broken Bow in Nashville and BMG Canada. And I looked at the Broken Bow website. And then I'm looking, down the list of artists, and there's, Jason Aldean and Zach Brown and Dustin Lynch, and you scroll down a bit more, and there we are. And it's like, wow, how would we ever imagine that, 10 years ago when we were playing at our local pub in Tasmania? Like, it's just literally the other side of the world. It's one of the smallest places ever. Like, it's crazy stuff. But we're very, very grateful, and we can't wait to kind of see where the journey leads in this next chapter with this deal in place. And we're ready to work hard and make it happen. Hopefully we can get over there in Canada and play a bunch of shows and meet a lot of people and make our mark in your part of the world one day.
Yes, hopefully. I mean, it sounds like you guys are ready to head into the future with absolutely no breaks, but unfortunately, COVID seems to have pulled its own emergency.
Yeah, they put a little light break on things, but we'll get through that.
Yeah, we will. We're rolling with it. We're all going to come out the other side stronger. That's my thought, I reckon.
Yeah, absolutely. So I see that you guys have been doing a lot of Wolfpack live streams to stay connected with your fan base. What has it been like to coordinate those live streams and even perform music? What was it like to figure that process out?
It's been a lot of last minute panicking, really. But no, we've worked it out. We've we're not completely useless with technology, but we're certainly not the best either. So to work that stuff out, there's been a few teething problems, but it's been good. We've learned a lot. And the shows, the more we put into it, the bigger it's getting. So to actually tonight on the show, we've got a band, Shepherd. They're a really big Australian band. They had a massive smash song, Geronimo, a couple of years ago, and you may have heard of that over there even. Like it's just, there was worldwide thing. They tour the world, so they're on. And then the more we go in with this, the bigger the guests are kind of getting, and the more involved it's getting in different audio things. And but it was kind of just started out as me and Tom just going on with nonsense for an hour on a Friday night, but it's evolving into something bigger. So we're loving it. It's good fun. It's actually really nice to kind of have that to look forward to at the end of the week. It feels like we're going to do a show, So I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's been a real There's parts of it that have been challenging, but there's also parts of it that have been really fun, and that last comment Nick said, it feels like we're doing a gig. It does. Like that's the one thing I really do like about it, like after this, I'm going to get off and have a little practice and just think about what I'm going to play tonight and think about what we'll talk about, and that to me feels like we're getting ready for a show, and we'll have to get, I want to try and get Gord Bamford on it soon. So hopefully, Gord can come on. I don't know what the time difference will be. It'll probably be like literally waking up as we're getting drunk on a Friday night.
I'm sure Gord would love that.
Yeah, Gord would love that. Yeah,
wake him up at some ungodly hour and make him talk to us while we drink on a Friday night in Australia.
No, that's funny.
It'd be like remembering him of tour, right? Having someone waking him up and...
Oh, that's great.
It's going to be a good time.
Fantastic. So, how else have your plans changed for the near future due to the COVID crisis? Do you guys have a full album planned in the future and some more singles coming up?
Yeah, like we've got a full album, sort of half, well, not fully ready, but like a lot of stuff recorded and a lot of stuff ready to go. This is definitely going to push back an album release. For us, it's, I don't really want to put an album out and not be able to hit the road and tour it. That doesn't sort of feel right to us. But I think at the moment we're going to keep putting singles out, That'll probably happen that could potentially happen for the rest of this year almost. But that's okay. I think we got some great songs ready to come and some great stuff coming up. So yeah, I think we're just going to ride this out, and if all goes well in Australia, it looks like we can sort of hopefully get back on the road here. Hopefully October,
Ooh.
So September, October. So if that sort of works, if that happens, that will be that'll be really great, really great.
That's fantastic. That hopefully you guys will be able to get back out onto the road, and hopefully people will be able to come out to the shows, be within each other's presence, enjoy the vibe and everything else that comes with the beauty of live music.
Absolutely. Let's hope it's sooner rather than later too.
Agreed. 100% agreed. All right, so before I ask my last question, where can the listeners of the podcast find out more about the Wolfe Brothers?
Yeah, we try to stay pretty active on all our socials. So, all the usual places, the Facebook, Instagram, and our newest one, TikTok. We're still navigating that, as we say. If you want to see, some guys in their 30s, attempt to dance that have no business doing, that's the place to go for that. So, but seriously, we'd love to hear from you guys. It's always really exciting when we see people comment and stuff from other parts of the world. It's great to see a lot of people from Canada and stuff tuning in on the live shows on Friday nights. I'm not even sure what that would be time-wise over there for you guys, but anyway, it's 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time on Friday, so I believe that'd be like a Thursday something for you guys. But if you can jump on there, we'd love to hear from you. So
I'll figure out what the time difference is, and I'll let them know in the outro.
That'd be awesome.
Awesome, man.
All right, thanks. Fantastic. And I'll make sure to tune in myself. So, as a duo, as brothers who have been grinding it out for the last decade and finally going international. Say there's a group of two bros, or it doesn't even have to be brothers. Say there's two siblings, two friends that are sitting out there right now jamming it out, and they're maybe a little afraid that they might not even be able to make it outside of their own city. What kind of message do the Wolfe Brothers have for those individuals?
Well, look, I think, one thing we've learned over the years is you've got to be yourself, because there's only one you. And I think, that's what people really connect with. You're just being real and being yourself. And my other bit of advice is, this is actually, the Beatles said this. They said, you got to own your hometown before you own your state. And then when you own your state, you can own your country. And then when you own your country, you can go out and own the world. So just keep grinding away and just, enjoy it.
Well, that's it. Like we've always just had little goals. And then once we achieve the little goal, I guess we make the goalpost further away. Like at one point, the sole aim of our band was to get a gig at our local bar, which was called Irish Murphy's in Hobart, Tasmania. And then I remember clear as day thinking like, man, if we get a gig at Irish Murphy's, we've made it. This is amazing. So, then we did that. And then you make another goal. You go, okay, I'm going to get a show at the other end of the state. And then you do that. And, you just keep, and then eventually the goal becomes, hey, we want to win this award, or, we want to get this international deal. So it's just about making those goalposts, moving them further away and getting the goal, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Step by step. Don't overwhelm yourself and take the goals as they come.
Exactly. You said it better than us, actually.
We're pretty good at making a rambling, long-winded way of saying stuff, so,
it's okay. You guys said it pretty damn fine yourselves. Thank you so much for joining me here on the DTP.
Thanks so much for talking to us, mate. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, mate, and looking forward to seeing everyone in Canada really soon.
Hopefully I'll be able to see you guys in person one day soon, too.
Absolutely.
So I can give both Nick and Tom a big old handshake for joining me here on today's episode. I guess a big old roaring DTP thank you will have to suffice to the Wolfe Brothers for joining me on today's episode of the podcast to discuss coming up in Australia's country music scene, recently going international, and of course their new single, No Breaks, which you heard on today's episode of the podcast, and you can find it on, yes, that is right, your favorite music streaming service right now. And I highly suggest that you go ahead and do so. Hit follow when you're there so you can keep up to date with all things the Wolfe Brothers. And if you want to check out their amazing live stream concerts, you can find them Friday mornings in North America, 2 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And actually, one of the brothers just uploaded their entry into the No Breaks TikTok Dance Challenge, which you definitely need to go and check out right now. I also need to give one of those roaring DTP thank yous to Mackenzie and the rest of the team over at Strut Entertainment for going and helping with hooking this conversation up. And of course, last but not least, we have one of those thank yous, those roaring DTP thank yous to you guys, the listeners, the ambush. If you're new, maybe you want to join the ambush, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That's how you get it done. Maybe you've already hit and subscribe. Maybe you want to give the show a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, or maybe you enjoyed this episode so much that you want to share it on your social media, take a snapshot. And if you do, maybe you want to tag me, the Colton G, the Desert Tiger Podcast, or most importantly, the Wolfe Brothers, so that we can show you some mad love for, well, showing us some love. Yeah, that's how it goes down. All right. Thank you guys for joining me on what is another double release Friday of the Desert Tiger Podcast. Next week on the show, I actually don't know what I'm going to be putting out. We have some things in the bag that we can pull out, some magic rabbits per se, but exactly which one of those rabbits it's going to be, we will see next Friday in June. All right, you guys. So until then, have yourself a good week.